What up, you guys? Korean Crazy K here. You already know what it is by now. If you haven't already, be sure to watch, like, follow, subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Add me on that Snapchat, whatever you got to do to come on and join the party. You are missing out on a lot of things going on and happening with these Raw and these SmackDown predictions, commentary, result. I got my latest on the rest of the playlist. You can check out my Raw comments. You can also check out my page and my story for my Raw predictions and the social media where we interact, whether you like the comment, whether you engage in the comment, and I send out a shout out to you through that Instagram. And I also got the latest Monday Night Raw full show out there right now for January. Got the full show out for SmackDown on February as well, and March for February. Raw and SmackDown, and even WWE Live and NXT for now. We are already April 1st, 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. We are already into the April springtime. We only got 3 weeks to WrestleMania, the greatest stage of all time, the greatest stage of them all. The reason why the WWE superstars work so hard and scratch and claw their way to get to the top, all to make it to the greatest stage of them all, WrestleMania. We had a lot of haywire going down in London this past Monday Night Raw. This is going to be a commentary slash reaction of Monday Night Raw from yesterday. Yes, we are doing it on time today. That is right. I know that I mentioned the Raw and the SmackDown predictions and the commentary and the result that you can check on the page and story if you want to see the Raw and SmackDown latest, especially like yesterday's Raw predictions and the comment. I also did some shout outs, like the latest shout outs from yesterday as well, to you, those of you who engaged, whether you watched or liked the comment or comment yourself on it. And I also got in the rest of the playlist that you can certainly check out Queen Crazy K WWE comments. And it's got my Raw comment from yesterday, from last night in London. And it's also got other SmackDown Live in the Saturday main event comics as well on there. Also on the page and story, you can check out the prediction and updates. Freestyling, a new freestyling video that I just released early this morning today that you can check out right now on the page and story as well. So go on and enjoy the party, subscribe, watch it, like it, follow, comment, subscribe it, whatever you got to do to join the party. If you have already, give yourself a round of applause, and I thank you and I appreciate today. Give you some snaps, a round of applause, all the above. A shout out goes to y'all who've been rolling and going down and knows what's up. Also, you can check out, like I said, the January Running Night Raw full show videos out. The SmackDown for February is out, and for March, Raw and SmackDown. I even added W Live, NXT, and A&W for already this month, even though we're only on the first. But I thought I'd do it for April as well. Next month I would be at a Monday Night Raw live, so you might want to check out page, story, or famous people on the playlist if you want to see those Raw and SmackDown and NXT and WWE live shows before we head to next month, where you'll see another Monday Night Raw live show. I will be there live in my hometown with Monday Night Raw show, presenting predictions and the results, entrance, and of course after Raw went off air to let you know everything you need to know, want to know, and more as we do it. So with that being said, we're 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. This is a commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw. I got caught up on the last few weeks, 1 week, that you can go look on that playlist, commentary slash reaction with Korean KZK. And you can also see the latest streaming video games playlist that I've made, a new video game playlist. WWE gameplay with Korean KZK is what it's called as well, if you're interested in seeing that and see my latest freestyle rapping video. I just released it this morning today, like maybe 2 hours ago, if even that. So this time we got the commentary, we got the slash reaction to Monday Night Raw, and yes, we are doing it on time. On time today, that's right. Commentary slash reaction Monday Night Raw from last night, how it should be, is on time. We had the latest one with Rhea Ripley on one. We had main event Jey Uso doing the only thing that we know that he can do to make everybody in the Monday Night Raw give us a hell yeet in our city. No matter what city is in, it's still our yeet city. throwing it down, making big things and big changes happen. With that being said, as well, we got today. Now, I'm gonna watch it on YouTube later on after I get done with this, but I thought I'd do my own commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw. Do it on time today. As we said, yes, you can do it. You can give me a round of applause and a shadow because we are on time. Right on the dot. To do it right for commentary slash reaction from last night, how it should be when I do my commentary reactions, but nonetheless, I still get every single week commentary reaction done for y'all, and I still get all the information. I still get them updated, and it's just happy that we're doing the one from last night. So you're rolling with the program, and you're rolling with the flow. You get what's happening, what's going on, because it's literally happened last night in London. Commentary slash reaction is what this is addressing for Monday Night Raw, and those playlists is right here is what I was talking about. Wanted to show you it a little bit just in case things are spelled a little differently, just because things are different. Wanted to show you a little playlist is here. This is what I was talking about. You can check out the Korean KZK page and the Korean KZK story. So there is the page and there is the story to check out my Raw and SmackDown predictions. There is the page, as you can see, and the story up here. If you want to check out the Raw and SmackDown predictions and the Raw and SmackDown shoutouts that we did on Instagram, and then you can check out this playlist out right here, Korean KZK, WWE Comics by Korean KZK. To check out the latest from last night's Raw comment is on there officially, right on down here. So you can check that out, the Raw comments with Korean KZK, if you're interested to see the one from last night. And it is the actual Raw comic. Or you can also check out, this is what I was talking about, the 2K25 with WWE Korean KZK new playlist that I made with some gameplay. The gameplay is why we was getting that commentary slash reaction on Monday Night Raw caught up. When I was talking about with Rhea Ripley 3 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago, main event Jey Uso. The page and story at the Raw and SmackDown because it's from yesterday's Raw comic predictions. And I also got the latest from the past week as well, from last week. All officialized, up and ready to go. There's a part 1 and a part 2. Sometimes I do a single, sometimes I do a double, sometimes I do a triple threat, fatal forward. This is a part 1 and part 2 before and afterthought podcast with Korean KZK over the last week episode 144. So if you're interested to see that, check out that playlist. And check out the playlist as well, the page and story I was talking about, if you're interested in seeing like my latest freestyle video that I just released a couple hours ago. There's a new freestyle video on there as well. And then Famous People and Me, if you're interested in seeing the latest full Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, WWE Live, and NXT, and even AEW after Raw and SmackDown went off air for January, February, March, and even this month that just started, April, is on that playlist if you're interested in seeing it. And just in case you don't know, and now you know, these are the social media platinums: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Take a picture of it, Snapchat it, videotape it, like it, write it down, whatever you guys to do to memorize where you're going to hit it up at if you're interested into those social medias. So be involved in that conversation on Instagram or add me on Snapchat just to engage, or on YouTube to subscribe to this channel to make more and more rising of the channel and more videos for you guys' amusements. Plus, it's also something I like to do. And this, what this is, you can check out the playlist right here. This is a Monday Night Raw commentary slash reaction video from last night. And here's the rest of the commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw if you're interested in seeing that. This is all the playlist from the first Raw Netflix is when I started, to the second, to the third, to the latest last week's commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw as well. All caught up and ready to go. And now this commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw is on time and ready to go from last night, live from London. A lot of haywire, A lot of things happening, a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to touch on everything, updation, everything you need to know, want to know, and more. I just wanted to get that information out, what's happening, what's going on, just so you know and you're aware of what's going on. With that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Commentary slash reaction to Monday Night Raw. I call it the London Haywire because it was all haywire last night in London. From left and right, right and left, up and down, you name it, it was haywire. We got Rhea Ripley, technically supposed to be Women's World Champion. We got Io Sky and going as Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. We got Bianca Belair, special guest referee. We got Jey Uso coming out and getting the better of Gunther so bad where Gunther had to tie him, literally used one of those zip ties on the rope against him and bloodied and destroyed Jimmy, his flesh and blood right in front of his face. We got AJ Styles laying out Logan Paul for a challenge, a singles competition at WrestleMania. We got John Cena letting his real feelings know how he feels about Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes being the new Superman for the WWE Championship belt at WrestleMania. We got all kinds of things, like I said, left and right, right and left, up and down. And the New Day possibly got a Tag Team Championships opportunity for the World Tag Team Championship belts against the War Raiders as they won their competition. And on top of that, we got the phenomenal AJ Styles, speaking of him and the Logan Paul match. And speaking of the phenomenal AJ Styles, how he's been on a roll since coming back to Monday Night Raw since injury. He's worked out. He looks jacked and fit. He's trained. He's on the commentary. Now, what they call it is the Raw recap. I'm doing commentary slash reaction because I actually started it before they started doing the Raw recap. It's basically my reaction and my Raw recap and what I think and what I would say if I was on the commentary team. Those of you who don't know and who is aware, speaking of the phenomenal AJ Styles, been on a roll, former WWE champion, defeated the greatest of all time, John Cena. He's been on top since winning Raw singles action matches, calling out Logan Paul, and getting the best of Logan Paul, defeating him. As far as the brawl fight was when it was in New York, Logan Paul responds with more of a "you're broke, I'm rich" speech, is basically what Logan Paul was saying too when he was in London last night. Nonetheless, the phenomenal AJ Styles was not taking part into that. The phenomenal AJ Styles has landed Logan Paul out of the ring, and it looks like we might have a AJ Styles versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania singles action. Let's see if next week, with 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, it'll be 2 weeks with that being Monday Night Raw. Let's see if they finally make it, officialize it. As far as that match goes, will we have the phenomenal AJ Styles versus, I have no problem with him, the Money Maker, and I love the Prime. I love drinking the Prime with the Money Maker, Logan Paul. Will we see the phenomenal AJ Styles and Logan Paul versus each other at WrestleMania to make it officialized? I guess we'll find out this coming Monday Night Raw. And on top of speaking of finding out on Monday Night Raw, that was just one of the speculation because AJ Styles is going to be the commentary match, so I kind of started it right in the beginning, right in the middle, just diving right in to what's happening and what's going on here. We also had Mr. Hustle, Loyal to Respect, Never Give Up, 16-time champion. Now this heel turn, John Cena. He says that he's not going to change or do anything special for the W Universe, but we all saw how he looks at the W Universe, acknowledges everyone there, listen and say, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. They've been saying for 25 years. Got a new merchandise on. You're wearing London outfits because you're in London to support them, as you say you aren't. So we all know, even with this heel turn, that John Cena, being the Superman of the company for 25 years, still loves and respects the W Universe despite what he tried to say last week. And of course, the new Superman of the company that can do everything that John Cena could do. get on that microphone stand, put people in their place, win matches, win championship belts, be connected to the WWE Universe, and could do it with injury. You saw him in the Hell in a Cell. I don't know how the hell he did that match in the Hell in a Cell. You can literally see a purple body part of a human being. I mean, usually you only see that in scary movies or some kind of makeup when you're at a Halloween thing. This is real life, man, that you know damn well he was going through a lot of pain and a lot of situations going on there, emotional, making a name for himself that can hold it down through thick and thin, even when the odds are against him. Comes out on top that there is still one man, and that man is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, that can do exactly what John Cena has set to do for 25 years. And that is what the issue is. That is what the problem is. And I think that is why John Cena was mad, because he thought he was the last one in his dynasty that could connect with all the crowd, the championship belts, the matches, the injuries, the odds against you, even everybody doubting you. Every emotion that you can think of is on the line, and you still come out on top. So I think that's what John Cena's issue was, that there was only one guy like John Cena, and that's why he's the Superman of the company, that can hold it down. Now, with our old Superman retiring and going out like John Cena, we got our new Superman, Cody Rhodes, our WWE Champion. I think Cody Rhodes will remain WWE Champion at WrestleMania as our Superman to hold his company down, and John Cena on that following Monday Night Raw will just respect Cody Rhodes as the new Superman. That way John Cena doesn't retire as a heel turn. That way, number one, Cody's our champion to prove he's the Superman that can hold the company down. Two, that means John Cena, on the other hand, will make sure he doesn't retire as a heel turn. And maybe we'll get some like John Cena and Randy Orton matches, something like that. Talk about generations and legendaries and matches in the business and get that going as far as that match goes. And so I think Cody Rhodes is going to walk out champion. John Cena is just going to respect him so he doesn't go out retire as a heel turn. Maybe we get a John Cena Randy Orton match. Randy Orton said something about going against Cody for the championship match. Pat McAfee and J. Cole are going to host our Hall of Fame before WrestleMania 1 and 2 as the Hall of Fame, as the Dead Man Show with The Undertaker, as we have WrestleMania 1 and 2, and then that following Raw right after WrestleMania. We're already 3 weeks into it. And yes, last night, as I said, with our manager Adam Pearce, had a handful last night. Raw is red. Raw was red and high wire and all over the place. Those things I described to you. And that was that. So, with that being said, with it going haywire, with it being red, with it being dominant, I think Cody's going to walk out champion at WrestleMania. And that is why you saw Cody Rhodes come out the evens. You saw Cody Rhodes defeat Roman Reigns when nobody thought he could. You saw Cody Rhodes with the torn defeat in a Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins. So he showed that he could do it with the injury, with the heart, and when his odds was against even, he outdid the Bloodline at WrestleMania. And he won 2 Royal Rumbles back to back on top of that when everyone was doubting him and shit. So yes, I believe Cody Rhodes can walk out the WWE Champion, and that is my analyzation to back it up. And that John Cena will just respect him as such and move on to not retire as a heel turn. That's what I think is going to happen as far as that goes. And speaking of heel turn, let's talk about the New Day. All right? One of the greatest for 10 years. Tag team champions in the WWE, the New Day had. Well, let's talk about their heel turn. Yep. Nobody likes them for kicking Big E out. Nobody likes them for talking about Big E and constantly costing matches for the tag teams like LWO that we do like over the New Day. But the New Day has won their tag team match. Tyler Breeze returns. So is that Tyler Breeze has not lost a beat fighting in that tag team action. And that the New Day, no matter if they're a heel turn or not, that it's working pretty damn well for them. Tyler Breeze has not lost a beat coming together as a tag team again on Monday Night Raw, and the New Day picking up the victorious on Monday Night Raw in a tag team, whether we like it or not. But I think the War Raiders, we will find out that Raw is War Raiders remaining as our World Raw Tag Team Champions against the New Day. Once and for all is what we all want to see, and I think that'll happen as far as that match and that competition goes. And speaking of greatest tag team and competition and championship match, singles actions, what about Gunther and Jey Uso? Now this Gunther, this is exactly what I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying it because he keeps proving my point. Gunther won the match over Jimmy Uso, as I said he would do. He could have walked away and moved on. He decided to attack after the match was over on Jimmy. Bring out Jay, who literally made Gunther retreat and run away from the fight. Literally was running away from Jey Uso, chasing him out of the arena in honor of his brother for a nonsense attack. Then Gunther comes back out there. Jey Uso gets the best over Gunther, chases him out of there, show he's ready that this is a different main event Jey Uso. This is a different Jey Uso that you ain't seen in a long time. You think that he's goofy, you think that he's fun. Yeah, he could be fun and say lines that people like to say, with saying heat and like to have a good time with family, But when he gets in that ring, he can do things. He beat Roman Reigns out of 4 years. No other man but Jey Uso has done that to Money in the Bank. He's won the Royal Rumble when I think I'm the only one that was going for him to win the Royal Rumble. He showed that little Jay could do what Big Jim was doing and defeat him at a WrestleMania competition. He became a singles Intercontinental champion. He's got the whole entire Monday Night Raw yeeting with him. So I think main event Jey Uso, when he gets that respect that he deserves, will be a lot better off just to give him that respect because he earned it. Jey Uso gets in that ring. He's a different main event Jey Uso. He's a different guy. And main event Jey Uso, the fact that he made Gunther literally run and retreat away from him in honor of his brother says a lot right there. That even Gunther knows that Jey Uso ain't one to play with. That is why he had to do this, sweep this low, and zip tie to the arena. Yeah, zip tie Jey Uso to the arena to dominate and bloody an unnecessary, brutal attack on Jimmy because he knew damn well that Jey Uso was making you retreat when you tried to attack Jimmy the first time. And while the Usos were going to take that L and go on, like I said, Gunther, you proved why you're world champion. You defeated Jimmy in his singles action, but Jay proved why he could be the new world champion at WrestleMania by literally making you run away from the fight. You literally had to tie him to the ring, zip tie him to get the better. And you didn't even hit him. You took it out on his brother and bloodied him. So I'm going for main event Jey Uso that he could walk out as world champion against Gunther. And for the first time in Gunther's career, he won't be a champion. And that's what his issue is. That somebody like Jey Uso is walking out as world champion at WrestleMania. And Gunther won't be a champion for the first time in 4 years. And Jimmy will be right there to celebrate the yeets with main event Jey Uso at main event WrestleMania. And you can yeet on that. That's what I feel is going to happen with that. Main event Jey Uso's got this in the bag. We're going to yeet with main event Jey Uso winning that world championship against Gunther at WrestleMania. He'll have no choice but to respect Jey Uso. And Jimmy's going to be right along with the greatest tag team champions in WWE, the Usos, celebrating, eating, drinking, having fun, having a good time with the WWE Universe, and celebrating how Jey Uso's our new world champion, and Gunther is on flat on his ass once again, flat down once again, by someone like Jey Uso is going to beat you for the world championship belt. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think Gunther thinks. And that's why he's so mad and trying to get under the skin of Jey. You literally, instead of making a statement on him, you made a statement on his brother. And instead of letting him fight one-on-one, you zip-tied him. And when he was out, he was literally making you retreat, run away from the fight. So that could mean he thinks Jey Uso's going to walk out world champion. And for the first time, he won't be a champion in 4 years. And Jimmy will be right there with the Usos, greatest in WWE history, in my opinion. He ended up at WrestleMania as our new world champion main event. Jey Uso shocking the world, proving them wrong once again, because I am the only person, the only breathing, living thing on this planet, world, universe, or earth that you want to say. Whether it's the world, whether it's the universe, whether it's him, whether it's friend, whether anybody in the business. Wrestling superstars, wrestling fans, whether it's the world or the commentary or anybody, I'm the only breathing, living thing on this planet that thinks Jey Uso can walk out as world champion, and that is why. But maybe Gunther thinks that too, and that's why he had to tie him to make his statement. And Jay's going to get his revenge when he beats Gunther for the world championship at WrestleMania, for what he did to his brother and for what he did to him and his brother. Be right there to rub it in his face. So that's what I think we're having here. And it's going to be a fair 1-1. Because let's remind you that technically he only beat him twice because Jimmy got involved. And, he won the Royal Rumble and the Intercontinental Championship. So he ain't far behind Gunther. With him winning the Royal Rumble, being the Intercontinental Championship on his own, and then him being the World Championship against Gunther, he'll have it even square. And even with the botch and everybody getting involved and stuff, he still had Gunther's number. So he ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. He's already got Gunther shaking right now in his boots. After what you saw on Monday Night Raw, that proves it right there. So I think main event Jey Uso could walk out world champion, and Gunther knows that. And he's going to shock the world and prove them wrong once again. So with that being said, moving on, speaking of world championships, shock of the world, let's talk about Liv Morgan and Raquel, 3 tag team women's champions together. Liv and Raquel, I was talking about the heel turn of the New Day. Now, how about the heel turn that's been working for Liv Morgan? She has been World Women's Champion. She has been Tag Team Women's Champion for the third time right now. She's been Mona Liv. And she made history at Crown Jewel. And she is the MVP of Elimination Chamber. And now currently she has defeated one of the strongest women on SmackDown, Jade Cargill. So you got to give it up for Liv Morgan's heel turn is working out a hell of a lot for her. She's been here for 10 years and finally getting the credit that she deserves in the past 2 years. And, not to toot her own horn, but you could think Rhea Ripley, if she hadn't cost that tag team to break up, Liv would still be getting shoved in the ground. She's been here for 10 years and getting acknowledged out of 2 years and doing all these accomplishments that we're just now noticing. Liv Morgan's got it going on for herself, and I, as a 3 tag team women's champion, I'm all for Liv Morgan. And all for Rhea Ripley, who allowed that to happen. Now, other parts, because without her, the tag team wouldn't be broken up, and Liv wouldn't have found her inner side to bring out that devilish side. Talk about beat you to the punchline. And Liv Morgan wouldn't be accomplishing those things on her own, because she wouldn't be able to have the confidence in herself that she does now if it wasn't for Rhea breaking up the team, causing that inner Liv to come out. And now she's getting acknowledged out of 2 years when she's been here for 10 because of Rhea Ripley. So Liv Morgan's been on top, and speaking of that, the rest of the Judgment Day, like Finn Balor and Dominic, every time we think the Judgment Day is going to break up or fall apart, they show why they're on top, why they're coming together, defeating and lucha badasses like Braun Breaker and Penta in a tag team action, and why Dominic and Finn Balor picked up that tag team victory. We saw how Liv Morgan was jabbing a wedge, perhaps that we think they're on the same page, but maybe not, because Liv had a point. Braun Breaker defeated Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. Well, Balor felt good because he beat him in a tag team action, but if it wasn't for Dominic, you wouldn't have won the match or got the opportunity. So like Liv said, you had your opportunity, you blew it. It should be Dominic going after the Intercontinental Championship belt, not you again. Not to mention Braun Breaker has some, unfinished business with the Judgment Day for attacking him the week before. So that just shows you right there, Dominic and Finn could maybe not be on the same page. And Braun Breaker, our Intercontinental Champion, is going to let that dog out and get his revenge on the Judgment Day for attacking him the week before with the steel chair, let alone Penta for the Intercontinental Championship to get frisky backstage. So, with all that being said, next week, whether it's Chad, Alejandro, Lucha, whatever he wants to call himself, live in Minnesota on Monday Night Raw, and it will be at 7 p.m. We will have him live in action for Grande, as Chad is supposed to be sick, I guess. Talk about Lucha Underground. We talk about Penta. Well, let's talk about the Lucha New Grande Chad. That's what I'm going to call him. He's the Grande Chad. Gonna get a singles action or a tag team action. He's in competition next week on Monday Night Raw, live in Minnesota. So, with all that being said, talk about lunches and nightmares. I mentioned Rhea Ripley, our former Women's World Champion, Raw, SmackDown Women's Champion, Tag Team Women's Champion, you name it. Rhea Ripley is the one dominant, strong, sadistic female. And with her skills, her natural abilities, her brutality that she brings into there, she has done a lot of things. Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, Tag Team World Champion. She's been two-time World Champion as well. World Champion. She's beaten all the Horsewomen, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Bayley. And she's been in tag team competition with Mercedes Moné. And at WrestleMania. She's done it at WrestleMania as well against Becky and Charlotte. So Rhea Ripley is one dominated, fearless, undeniable female superstar that I've ever seen in the WWE. Now, she's the one that makes me favor a WWE superstar in the women's division. Usually I have a favorite male superstar or a male figure that I watch and I look up to. I never actually had a female superstar that I got to look up to except when Mercedes Moné came along. And then I would say now Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. So I've been watching WWE my whole entire life, between my grandparents watching it, between my mom watching it, between me doing mat wrestling in middle school, and then I also did mat wrestling in high school, to now doing podcasts with wrestling. Traveling to wrestling events and also doing predictions, like part of the creative team, commentary team, whatever you want to call it. I could be a part of the commentary team because I'll say exactly what I said in my podcasts. I could be a part of the creative team because I know what I'm talking about. I know my wrestling. I know the legendary wrestling, like old school. I know Finn, like 2013. And I know the now between Raw and SmackDown, even WWE Live and NXT and AEW. I'm good at predictions. I definitely deserve to be a part of the creative team. Because I know what's best for the business, and I know what's best for each of the superstars as well. I'm fair and I balance it. And I know what they're thinking. They'll be saying exactly what I say when I do my predictions on that microphone. And when I do my podcasts on the commentary team, that's just icing on the cake. And when we interact with each other on the Instagram and stuff, that's just the cherries they put on top of it, because I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. This is something that's a gift to me because it comes naturally. I don't have to think hard to declare it. So, with all that being said, to declare that and officialize it, I know with Rhea Ripley in her mind what she's thinking. This is what I'm talking about with Rhea Ripley being so dominant, so strong. I know what she's thinking. Y'all know by now I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan. You always see when I do my podcast is here that I got this beautiful, that you can see right here, this beautiful Rhea Ripley shirt as I encounter with her through Raw and SmackDown. You know that I got this beautiful Rhea Ripley as WrestleMania is 3 weeks away from the WWE Live in the Street Fight that I was talking about when I did my gameplay as well. You know by now that Rhea Ripley is my dominant female star. I've been watching her whole entire career, from UK to NXT to now Raw to SmackDown to now back on Monday Night Raw in the last 2 years. So you know, between the UK Rhea Ripley, the NXT Rhea Ripley, Raw, I got a SmackDown that says You're My Mommy, and another one with the tribes of, I know that you've seen it. My Rhea Ripley vest is over there. I know you've seen my favorite people and me when I went to live events. I got to interact with Rhea Ripley. I know you've seen the Visa because it's not the first time I talk about Rhea Ripley. I don't think I go without a prediction, without mentioning Rhea, especially about Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Mommy. Come on now. Or a podcast, or a talk, or a week without talking and discussing Rhea Ripley, or even a gameplay, or when I go live. So, Rhea Ripley is that star. Rhea Ripley is that dominant female. Rhea Ripley's got what it takes in the women's division. Rhea Ripley is so dominant, so strong, so intense. Right now, this is what I'm talking about, that she allowed Io Sky to be women's world champion. Not that Io Sky doesn't have what it takes, but we all saw how she hesitated a lot for Io to be women's world champion. And Rhea Ripley didn't have to help Io Sky in the first place. It was Liv and Raquel that cost you your match. Rhea was trying to even up the odds. She didn't have to give you a rematch. She tried to be a friend. She did that. And this is why Rhea isn't nice, because now it seems like you try to replace her rather than working together with her. She's former women's world champ. Io Sky wins the main event against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship belt, but Rhea technically last night won the Women's World Championship belt against Io Sky, who doesn't have her number so much anymore and doesn't have her down so much anymore. We all saw what happened. Botches happen, accident happens, interference happened. You know, talk about interference like with the Judgment Day with Braun Breaker and Penta. Now that we got an angry Braun Breaker who needs to get his hands on Finn Balor for attacking him with the steel chair first. And then worry about Penta for the Intercontinental Championship, what happened in this tag team. We talked about tensions like the phenomenal AJ Styles and Logan Paul possibly having a match at WrestleMania, being challenged to in our Intercontinental Women's Champion. Lara Vaquera challenging Bayley for the Intercontinental Women's Championship. But I think that they're going to work together, because this is what I'm talking about. The Judgment Day plays in their favor. You can imagine Liv and Raquel is going to get involved, because they said they got to fix the Bayley and Lara situation. Now we're going to have a tag team there, maybe for the Tag Team Women's Championship belt, with WrestleMania being 3 weeks away. We got maybe a Tag Team Women's Championship belt on the line. We also heard Maxine and Natalya got new ideas for the Tag Team Women's division, so maybe we'll have a Lara after she's done with the Intercontinental Women's Championship against Bayley this coming Monday Night Raw, if they officialized it for Monday Night Raw. Maybe we'll see Lara and Bayley, and if they defeat Natalya and Maxine, a tag team, they get to go against Liv and Raquel for the Tag Team Women's Championship belt at WrestleMania. Because now we got 2 more Raws left before WrestleMania, so I think that Lara showing that she could beat Bayley for the Intercontinental Championship belt boosted up her confidence. And then with them just teaming up against Natalya and Maxine, who seem to have an idea for the tag team division, then that would declare Liv and Raquel defending their tag team women's championship, and Lara possibly getting an opportunity to become Intercontinental Women's Champion and one half of our tag team women's champion, making history. And Bayley, who's our first ever in women's history, women's tag team champions at WrestleMania, to do it again, make history and become tag team women's champions as well. And it's also a different team we've never seen. I call them the Nightmare Huggers. So that could be a new competition we see at WrestleMania too. And speaking of WrestleMania, we got the EST of WWE went in the main event as our referee. She played the cards right. She did the pinfalls. You know, she backed them up when she could have counted them out. She knows how important the match was. She was doing the same thing to Io as she did Rhea to show there ain't no favoritism. She needed a singles competitor match at WrestleMania, which makes sense. You know, you went through all that trouble. You had your best friends stabbing you in the back and fighting and turning against each other. Underneath all that pressure, you got to give it up to the EST, winning the Elimination Chamber for the second time, making history in her career. She went straight down the line. As well as she was grabbing Rhea to realize, hey, this match is important, so I'm not going to count you out. But also doing the same thing to Io to show there ain't no favoritism. She just wanted a singles competitor match for the championship at WrestleMania fair and square, because she went through so much pressure and trouble to get there. So you can imagine why Rhea Ripley winning that match was important, or Io Sky or Bianca Belair just playing the referee card and doing it the right way. She wasn't playing any favoritism, caught it right down the middle. For a pinball submission, she gets kicked by Rhea Ripley. Accidents and stuff like that happen all the time. This is what I was talking about. She gets kicked by Io Sky and finally decides, alright, I had enough of this. Rings the bell, throws it out. Rhea Ripley technically beat Io Sky for the Women's World Championship belt in the main event last night on Raw, so she can knock that off of her chest. She has beaten Io Sky technically, and at main event on Raw, and became Women's World Champion technically. So she can wipe that off of her chest right there, knowing that she can do that. Because she did. As I told you, Mommy was going to lose twice. The only way is for Adam Pearce to declare Rhea Ripley to go to WrestleMania, get her Women's World Championship bout against Io Sky officially at WrestleMania. The show she can do without makeup for the NXT match, and then Bianca Belair will be there just to put the icing on the cake for the triple threat. These women know each other so well through NXT. They've been so successful through Raw and SmackDown, and now here they are. The contract's already signed. All their names are already on it. I think that maybe this week we might hear from Mommy because she technically is Women's Champ. We might hear from Bianca Belair because she was doing the right thing, did get hit around, and you can't blame her why she's like, alright, I had enough of this. I kind of need myself to go to WrestleMania too, and I can't be getting kicked and bounced around like this, especially when Bianca Belair didn't want to be the referee because she knew it'd be haywire, and also she was trying to play it fair the best that she could with Rhea and Io, knowing how important this match was to them. Knowing how important with the Women's Championship on the line, with WrestleMania on the line, with the main event on the line. She knew how important it was to these women, and she tried to pay it fair the best that she could. Of course, getting kicked and disrespected, popping rubber bands at her but of course Rhea Ripley getting frustrated because you did tackle her to the ground is why she popped rubber bands on you. But you obviously, in Bianca Belair's head, she's like, I'm trying to help you out. I don't want to disqualify you. I know how important this match is to you. At the same time, Io Sky's like, hey, just because I'm physically little than you guys doesn't mean I haven't beat both of y'all and have both of y'all numbers. So don't forget about me while I'm Women's World Champion. And because the tensions between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair is the reason why Io Sky ended up being Women's Champion in the first place. So, as Rhea Ripley technically is Women's World Champion, beat Io Sky in that main event, she can wipe that off her chest that she did it. She technically got the job done. As Bianca Belair special referee, she will obviously address because it was all haywire for her for a match that she didn't want to be involved in because she knew how high the tensions was. She knew emotions were on the line. She knew opportunities were on the line. She knew that these women weren't in the state of mind to be dealing, especially with Bianca Belair, who laid them both out last week too, on top of that. So she gets kicked down, she gets thrown out, and Rhea Ripley, like, hey, you know what? Just because we got Io Sky as Women's World Champion at WrestleMania, Bianca Belair as Elimination Chamber winner at WrestleMania officially, without Rhea Ripley, like you said, doesn't mean that Rhea Ripley can't do what she did last week and worse. She's got 3 weeks. Now 2 more Mondays. To make her statement across, she could injure both of those superstars and make sure neither one of them make it to WrestleMania either. And that's the brutality side of Rhea Ripley that you don't want to cross. That is the domination of Rhea Ripley. That is that vicious Rhea Ripley that you don't want to cross. I told you it was going to be a different Rhea Ripley. It's not going to be a pretty Rhea Ripley. It's going to be a mean, aggressive Rhea Ripley. And she got the job done with doing that. She technically beat Io Sky with doing it. She got her Women's World Champion. She'll be going to WrestleMania with doing that. She made her statement across loud and clear. What could happen to both of these women before WrestleMania, just as much as you think she's out of it, and you got a one-on-one, she could injure both of y'all and make sure none of y'all make it to WrestleMania. So I think they're just going to talk, have a conversation about why she's Women's Champion, why Io's current, why Bianca's trying to throw the line. I think Adam Pearce is going to do the right thing, make a new contract. I think that the following week, they can just have it, it's like with CM Punk and Roman and stuff. They've just been talking about his stuff, how they think they should win and stuff, how they feel. I think that's what these women are going to do this coming Raw, and just have a sit down and sign the contract officially for Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair, which she should have did in the first place, for the Women's World Championship and Triple Threat at WrestleMania. And I see Mommy coming out on top as Women's World Champion over Io Sky. One, to prove she can beat her officially. Technically on Raw and not Raw, okay. She did. But it'll definitely, winning at WrestleMania, make it official in the history books that she could beat Io. Because you know how can you be the dominant woman in the women's division if there's one woman that you can't beat. So, and also win the Women's World Championship during that WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley is used to that, so no pressure on her. Except the fact that you got Io, who you haven't beaten yet. That's the pressure that Rhea has. And the pressure that Bianca has is that nobody wants to see her win. You know, they keep on booing her. So you got the crowd against you and two women that just want to mercify you. On top of that. And Io Sky just wants to prove her point across. She thinks she's going to turn Rhea and Bianca against each other, but might end up getting the sticky situation. Ended up on her. So I think she's going to sit back and think that she's going to watch them go at each other and then find out the hard way, too, that she's not safe anymore either right now. This is a different Rhea Ripley. This ain't a nice Rhea Ripley right now. And Bianca Belair can get just as aggressive. That NXT Bianca Belair is just as dominant and aggressive as Rhea Ripley. And Io Sky, you saw her knock them out. And that proves right there she wants to prove even more. Just because I'm sizely smaller than you doesn't mean that I haven't beaten both of y'all, which she has. So she can feel more confident. Because she's beaten both of them. And she can dominate them. And she has. And she did. So this could go either way. It's going to be a good match. They know each other very well from the NXT. They have so much accomplishment. All three of them have done through Raw and SmackDown. And coming from NXT together. And even this match, they know that history they have with each other, with the promos, with the fights, with the brawl fights, with the tensions high. They know each other well. So I can see Rhea Ripley beating Io Sky, finally getting that off of her chest that she can beat Io Sky at WrestleMania. And that'll make up for that Raw event, and she'll be Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. That'll just be icing on the cake. I think Bianca would be happy because she's the one that didn't get pinned. The reason why she didn't want Rhea in the match because she wanted a one-on-one. And I think Io would just accept it the same as Rhea Ripley did. So with that being said, that's what I think is happening with my reaction, what happened on Monday Night Raw, addressing it. This is what I think is going to happen on these next two Monday Night Raws. Early predictions. And you can check out my page and story for the rest of the Raw predictions and more. And my WWE comic with Cream Kids Cave. If you want to check out my Raw comic video as well. And then this is going right on the playlist with commentary / reaction of Monday Night Raw. Even reflecting a little bit of WrestleMania because, like I said, we got 2 more Raws before WrestleMania. So, that's my input on that too. And you can also check out my before and after thought playlist because I did last week's podcast as well. That's on there. And you can check out Famous People and Me because there's a new Raw full show, there's a SmackDown full show, and there's a Raw, SmackDown, W11, NXT full show. And there's gameplay with Cream Kids K playlist with some new gameplays, Bloodline Edition, Original, and Legendary Editions for the WWE 2K25 on there. And you can check me out, follow me, subscribe, watch, like, comment, subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Add me on Snapchat to have additional information be included, like in those shoutouts to Instagram, like when I did my SmackDown this week commentary. And SmackDown results will go right along with it. And if I do a prediction, we'll go around with it. And you can check out my latest, which I did today, freestyle video out. It's official out. Pre-KK official freestyle is out right now. Including this commentary / reaction from last night's Monday Night Raw. That's going right with the playlist. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to watch, like, follow, subscribe, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, social media, and more. And I will show you those playlists before we head out here, just so there's no confusion how to get there and how to find it, even though I showed it in the beginning here. I just want to show it towards the end, just so you know how to spell it. You know, you can watch it, you can visualize it, you can write it down, screenshot it, take a picture. You can videotape me even saying it. And that way you know how to spell it out. Check out the page and the story. The page and the story for the Raw prediction yesterday. And also the Raw comics right there for Raw Comic last night. And Famous People on Me for the Raw and SmackDown full show, including WWE Live and NXT for January, February, March, and even this month of April. And then you can check out last week's for the Before and After Thought podcast. And you can check out Green KK, my other freestyle playlist, because there's a new freestyle out officially on the page of story and commentary / reaction, which is right there. This commentary / reaction is going to go with Green KK right there. There's Raw, SmackDown, WWE Live, NXT, Saturday main event, and more. And there's also the gameplay right there. I also updated some recently gameplays yesterday as well. And these are the social media platforms that you can find me at right here through Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, and more. Picture it, visualize it, write it down, picture it, screenshot it, whatever you gotta do, videotape it, and more. So that being said, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for tuning in, thank you guys who already been watching and liking and subscribing and supporting my channel and already see my Raw predictions, including my Raw comment and my other comments, the Raw SmackDown Saturday main event. Thank you guys for already watching my commentary / reaction of my Raw. Yes, it was as successful as well as the one today. Could be successful as well. If you haven't already, come on and join the party. Come on down. And the page and story updations and the freestyles. Thank you guys for liking and comment on that as well. As my gameplay as well has been successful and with the freestyle video. So that being said, Queen Kids Account, peace.